Um, God showed me something on today. There's a video clip that I've been putting in my videos since like 2020, since I first saw it. And it's clips from a meeting that they have at the World Economic Forum. And in these meetings, they are basically telling you that people will be turned into cyborgs, into robots, and um, bodies will be full of sensors and all of this stuff. Um, but a part of that clip, this gentleman, he made this statement, and it kind of scared me. For those who will miss the rapture, it scared me because what he said in this statement is happening right now through the technology, especially through those meta glasses that everybody is wearing. And believe it or not, they already coming out, getting ready to come out with the contact lenses. So those of you who know about those meta glasses, people can walk around with those glasses and they can actually record, just walk and just record stuff, have a conversation with you, recording you, have those contact lenses on, recording you in some compromising positions. They can use it to threaten you, blackmail you, or whatever. So God was showing me with these devices and even with these drones that the devices that they're coming out with, the people will actually be the devices. Because they say once your body become full of sensors, everything that the drones are able to do, they can record, they can go up in the sky like 4 miles and somebody's sitting there with the base and they can be watching you all outside and, following you and creeping. I mean, everything that they're able to do on these drones and with these glasses and soon with these contact lenses, that is what the body, the human body will be able to do. I made in a video, I don't know how long ago, but I told you all that you're going to see people walking around just like in a daze because what they see in those glasses and on those drones and the screen, the pad, the little iPad thing, you're going to be able to see in your own head. And people are going to be walking around and they can see, and it's just going to be like zombies. But I want you all to listen to what this gentleman said, and then I'm going to let you listen to him. He says, so if our brains are connected and you record, for instance, like those meta glasses, they can be standing there holding a conversation with you and they recording everything y'all talking about if y'all don't know how they work. It says, so if our brains are connected and you record, for instance, what are you possibly thinking? What areas of your brain are being stimulated at a certain point? There is even like devices that are collecting what you are seeing. You see that? It's like that drone. But see, they operate the pad. So if that drone is you, they know what you're seeing. They know what you're doing. They know what you're thinking. So again, so if our brains are connected and you record, for instance, what are you possibly thinking? What areas of your brain are being stimulated? At a certain point, there is even like devices that are collecting what you are seeing, managing your feelings, even through facial recognition devices, micro muscle movements, and so on. The data is going to be stored somewhere, might be in a cloud service. Now, they're building these data centers all over the world. What will be this cloud service? Where are these servers located? Is it in Brazil? Is it in China or the United States? So depending on the jurisdiction, you have a different approach as regarding how that data will be treated. Therefore, We become the sensors. So you're gonna become the device. This is how they're gonna turn man into machine. So if you meet a person, this is an example he's given. So if you meet a person and shake hands, will we have to sign a privacy notice to talk to that person? Like the person will say, this is my terms of use. So you have to click this button before we start talking, because everything we will be talking about will be recorded. So this is my privacy notice. So you say, no, okay, you agree. So bye-bye. I don't want to talk to you. So he said, so that's the thing we must think about, because when the human brain and the human body becomes full of sensors, data is being collected. And there is legislation that actually requires the consent of other people in order to collect that data about them. He said, this sounds crazy. This sounds like a crazy example, but actually by law that already is required. So this stuff is serious. And like I made a couple of videos ago, where Elon Musk said in 2026 they're gonna fast track humans being implanted with this Neuralink. So they're getting ready to do this stuff. Pretty soon you ain't gonna need the glasses. Those of you who receive that chip. And like I said, you don't have to have your brain cut open anymore. They can put that chip in you via a syringe, or through a nasal spray, or through a Band-Aid that's going to have these micro needles. All it needs to do is go into your bloodstream and it can go into your brain. And see, this is where the Bible says the mark of the beast will be in the right hand, which your DNA is right-handed, in the right hand, or in your forehead, your frontal lobe. And the word of God says if you take that mark, you will be doomed to hell, because you become a beast. There is no way that you will be able to ask for forgiveness and go to heaven, because now you are marked with the Antichrist's DNA. And see, this is what they're doing. And see, they're already doing it right now with the devices, the glasses, and the coming out with the contact lenses, and then with these drones. They say you're gonna become the device. So everything that you're walking around seeing and watching, they're gonna be able, just like with that drone, you will become the drone, and they will have the little iPad thing, the little pad set, seeing what you're doing. And see, this is why it's gonna be so dangerous during the tribulation period, because you're not gonna know who to trust. And this is why right now you should stay away from anybody who loves Trump. The word of God says all whose names are not written in the book of life, they will worship the beast. So anybody who adores Trump or think he's doing good, stay away from him, because they're going to take his mark. And when they take that mark via those vaccines at the beginning of the tribulation period, when they take those new vaccines, then they become like a drone. And say, for instance, say you already running for your life, you hiding out, and then he say, they come up to you, maybe it's a cousin, somebody you know or whatever, and they say, hey, help me, I'm trying to run. And you don't know that they already received the mark, because the word of God says it's going to be in the right hand or in the forehead. Be careful with these other translations of the Bible that say on the right hand or on the forehead. No, it's going to be in, so you're not going to know. And when you let them in your house, they're going to be just like a drone. So the people are going to be able to see who all's in your house, what you got, what you're doing. Just like if somebody came in your house with a pair of them metal glasses on, they could be recording everything in your house. It's getting scary, y'all. It's getting scary. But I want y'all to listen to these people. And I'll let you know when that gentleman is about to talk. But check him out.
The revolution is that it doesn't change what we are doing, but it changes us.
The focus, as all of you know, today is on what's now called the Internet of Bodies, involving medical implants and other kinds of devices that go inside your body, and all together with the Internet as a whole comprise the Internet of Bodies.
The Internet of Bodies, or IOB, is actually an ecosystem. It's a bunch of devices that are connected to the internet that contain software and that either collect personal health data about you or can alter the body's function. We think of the Internet of Bodies as
can alter the body's function. They will control you.
this collection of all these devices as well as all the data that the devices are gathering about you.
So the Internet of Bodies, imagine the power of AI. What is artificial intelligence? It's a way to automate computation and cognition. So we can now automate learning, perceiving, doing computation. It's a pervasive general purpose technology that will be used in all of our industries, that will come into our professional networks, our private networks, our schools, our industries and our offices. What I wanted to epitomize with the Internet of Bodies is this notion that we will be under assessment, we will be under measure of computation in every aspect of our lives in the future. From what you eat, who you date, what you buy on the internet, how much energy you use, but also what are your vital signs, what are you doing in terms of health, what kind of specific genetic quirks do you have, what's your genome telling about your health, about your mental health, about how well you are doing, how well you are aging, what kind of disease you are susceptible to.
It has a bit of an Orwellian twinge to it.
Well,
the most obvious front is healthcare. I mean, think of the kind of healthcare you could provide to people if you really know what is happening every moment inside their bodies.
It's not about healthcare. It's not about healthcare. That's the front they use, that they're doing it for your health. They're doing it for your security and for your benefit.
Inside their brains. Now, would you like to give it up because you're afraid of the other things that this kind of information might make possible? The big battle in this regard in the 21st century will be between privacy and health will win. Most people will be willing to give up their privacy in exchange for much better healthcare based on 24 hours monitoring of what's happening inside their bodies. I guess very soon people will walk around with biometric sensors on or even inside their bodies.
Biometric sensors. Right now, it's those glasses. It's the watches, the Fitbits. And very soon, they say they're coming out with contact lenses. And then they're going to, like he said, pretty soon, they're going to go from on the body to inside of the body. And again, I don't believe that those first batches in 2020 of the vaccines were the mark. But starting when the tribulation period starts, any vaccines that you take after that, they will be able to mark you. Because again, COVID was just a blueprint of the tribulation period. Remember how people lost their jobs because they didn't take the vaccines? That was a blueprint. But see, I don't believe that those vaccines were the mark, because right now I'm still able to buy and sell or do whatever. So I don't think, like most people believe, you have to be careful who you listen to. Most people believe that those vaccines were the mark. I don't believe. I pray for y'all's sake, whoever took them vaccines, that it wasn't the mark, but I don't believe it will be the mark. I don't think they will be able to mark you until the beginning of the tribulation period. So my advice is don't take no more of them, period. And again, they don't have to cut your brain open to get that Neuralink inside of you. All they have to do is get it in your bloodstream. And right now they're coming out with vaccines that can be inhaled, microneedle patches like a Band-Aid, and like the syringes that they, with the needle, how they've been doing it. My advice is stop taking them, period. Because a lot of people going to take them and they don't even realize that the rapture has happened and they already in the tribulation period. So I'm just begging, if you get sick, use natural methods. Stay away from these vaccines, because the next batch, especially after the rapture, this is how they're going to mark you. In your right hand, because our DNA is right-handed, and in your forehead, the frontal lobe, that's where they're going to put the Neuralink.
And will allow Google or Facebook or the Chinese government or whoever to constantly monitor what's happening inside my body. Most people, especially when it comes to life and death situations affecting themselves or their children or their spouses, would not like, would take the risk. I mean, healthcare will win, and in the wake of healthcare, we'll have all the other things making use of this data. We are great, we have these wonderful high-tech companies, we make a lot of money out of it, it raises our power in the world. What can be wrong with it? This debate about privacy versus security is as old as civilization, you can say. But there is something new now. For the first time in history, it's possible to completely eliminate privacy. It was just never possible before, and it is possible now. Something fundamental has changed. When dictators always dreamt about completely eliminating privacy, monitoring everybody all the time, and knowing everything you do, and not just everything you do, but even everything you think and everything you feel. Whether it's a tyrant in ancient Greece, or whether it's Stalin, they always dreamt about it. They could never do it, because it was technically impossible. Now it's possible.
A world where we don't have privacy anymore, as we knew it. So privacy is a notion that my grandmother has a kind of a perspective on. All of that would be cancelled. The idea is that human beings could be followed by their own drones, their personal drones, that are streaming personal data, intimate biological data about each individual, and following them as a digital avatar, as a guardian drone. You can do already a lot with drones. So drones are, it's a robot, right? That's where...
If I can mow the lawn, I'm in.
That's where robotic merges with AI, right?
Yeah.
So a drone is a robot. It's the navigation system is powered by AI. Now, with a drone, you can drop vaccines, you can drop blood in Rwanda, in a remote location where nobody has access to either vaccines or blood for transfusion.
We're going to start the When Humans Become Cyborg session. You know, I always want to be a cyborg. I'm waiting for the day to become one, but let's see. Like today, we like to really talk about the recent developments of brain-computer interface.
Let me say this. Now, they're telling you that humans will become cyborgs. Again, the book of Daniel tells us that these people will try to mix iron and clay. Iron is technology, clay is humans. They're going to try to do it. God said it don't mix. They're going to be creating monsters. They're going to be creating monsters. The tribulation period is going to be a scary place, because the people who take the mark, they're not going to be able to die. And some of these people are going to be breaking in houses and doing all kind of stuff. And you think you're going to try to shoot them and kill them, and they're not going to fall down. The tribulation period is going to be very scary. The word of God said men will seek death and death will flee. A lot of them are going to try to kill themselves because they know that they no longer have control of their bodies. So they're going to be trying to commit suicide. You're going to be watching people walking around with part of their head hanging off or their chest blown out, and they're still going to be walking around. This thing is serious. And again, when your children are in the military, I'm praying for these young people. I got family members that are in the military. These people are trying to compete with this 200 million man army that's going to rise up out of the abyss, that's going to come out of the bottomless pit. The Bible speaks about a 200 million man army that they're going to have like tails with stingers on them. So these people are trying to prepare for that time. So that what they're going to do is they're going to try to turn the military, these young people, into robots. You know how they talk about, well, we're going to put robots in the military? No, they're not going to put robots. They're going to turn your children into robots. This is what they're going to do. And again, my suggestion that if you have children in the military, tell them don't take no more vaccines. Well, what if I get in trouble? You're just going to have to get in trouble. They're going to kill you anyway. Will try to kill you anyway, but when you take the mark, you're not going to be able to make it to heaven. You're doomed to the lake of fire. Tell them not to receive any more vaccines because they're going to turn them into robots because they know that these huge wars with this 200 million man army is coming. These people read the scriptures too. And this is why Trump and all of them, they're preparing for Armageddon. They're preparing for battle with Jesus. And with all of these things, they got these evangelicals that read the scriptures. So they know all of these people who obey the beast, they study the scriptures too. So they know what's coming. So they're trying to build their army too. So it's not going to be robots that's going to be in the military. It's going to be your children.
And how that's really blurring the line between man and machine.
And one issue that's really interesting is bodily integrity. So they want to know things like, you know, do I own my implant? Does my implant become part of me? We have to solve the wiring problem. And so there are people, you know, like Elon Musk, who are trying to work on closed loop systems where the read of the brain and the input into the brain all happens within the brain in an implant that then is actually a very small implant that's put just underneath the skull.
And again, Elon Musk made a tweet on January the 1st, 2026, that the early part of 2026, they were going to start implanting Neuralinks into the people. Do you all see how close we are to the rapture? And after the rapture, that starts the tribulation period. Do you all see how close we are? The stage is already set. Trump is not going anywhere. He's not going nowhere. Forget about it. He's not going anywhere. Everything that he's doing, they've already set up. The beast system is already set up. It's already set up. The Constitution, eradicated. He's going to get rid of it. And he's going to do whatever he wants, and he's going to bring in martial law. I'm telling you, all it's going to take is one thing, some kind of collapse. And this is when he's going to suspend the Constitution. He's going to bring in martial law. And that's when everybody is going to be required to receive those new vaccines, which will mark you.
And this is obviously sounding increasingly like a Black Mirror episode. Everything that's encoded in memory, you could upload. You could basically store your memories as a backup and restore the memories. And ultimately, you could potentially download them into a new body or into a robot body. The future is going to be weird.
Instead of another book, I'll recommend a TV series. I think that Black Mirror is maybe the best science fiction TV show.
These things are not science fiction. It's not science fiction. They put the truth in plain sight. Anybody who has watched that Black Mirror, they tell you, they give away all their plans. They tell you everything what they're doing. They tell you all of it. And you're going to see a clip where this young man in the military, where he's killing people. Because you're programmed to do that. It's getting real, y'all.
Of the last year.
In this world, we're also caught up in our own heads. It's easy to lose sight of what's real.
You said you don't know how much time there is. What does that mean?
It's important that you realize there is a small medical procedure involved.
Sorry for a game.
didn't expect to find myself living the future, but here fucking well am.
So you recently logged your first kill.
Huh?
And how did that feel?
Robots.
They filmed me.
Filmed you.
It's on my computer camera.
You ready?
If we drill down into the numbers, you have got a solid popularity arc here.
No one is this happy. A 2-year-old with a fucking balloon isn't this happy.
Singularity is when computers learn to outsmart man like women did years ago.
You are so adorable.
We're genuinely empathetic as a species. We don't actually really want to kill each other.
Gotcha.
This means fun. Or it should.
Saw that picture of the young man on the ground? He's been marked. He's a cyborg. Can't even die.
The reality is that almost everyone, over time, will develop brain and spine problems. These range from minor to very severe, but if you live long enough, everyone's going to basically have some kind of neurological disorder. And these range from memory loss to brain damage. But the thing that's important to appreciate is that an implantable device can actually solve these problems.
Did you hear him? He said everybody eventually going to have all these brain problems: memory loss, hearing, blindness, paralysis, depression, insomnia, extreme pain, seizures, brain damage, strokes, addictions, anxieties. He said everybody going to have it. He said, but once you get this brain plant, that you can be healed from it. Now you got ignorant Bootsy, the little rapper. He's trying to ask Elon Musk to help him get rid of diabetes. But what he does not understand is that he's going to have to take the vaccine. He's going to have to take that mark. They're going to promise to rid you of all diseases once you get that Neuralink in your brain. This is the promise that they're giving you. To heal you. And again, they don't have to cut your brain open. All you got to do is inhale, or either that bandage with the microneedles or via a syringe. Now, this next young man that's going to speak, this is the young man where I just read what he said. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying. You will become the drones. Well, they can see everything that you're doing. It's going to be in those databases. They're going to control. They're going to know what you're doing. They can tell you what to do, just like you can tell if you all have a drone, you can make the drone do this and do that. They're going to have control of you. Anybody that has those meta glasses, they could walk right up to you and record you, and you not even know that you're being recorded, everything that you're saying, if you don't know how those glasses work. And then pretty soon, like I said, they're getting ready to come out with the contact lenses. But their goal is for you to become the sensor, for you to become the device. You're not going to even need the contact lenses or the glasses or the drones. You will become the device.
I think a lot of people don't quite realize that. But all of your senses, your sight, hearing, feeling, pain, these are all electrical signals sent by neurons to your brain. And if you can correct these signals, you can solve everything from memory loss, hearing loss, blindness, paralysis, depression, insomnia.
So if our brains are connected and you record, for instance, what are you possibly thinking, what are you, basically what areas of your brain are being stimulated at a certain point, There is even like devices that can collect what you're seeing, measuring your feelings either through facial recognition devices, micro muscle movements, and so on. These data is going to be stored somewhere, so it might be in a cloud service. What will be this cloud service? Where is the servers being located? Is it in Brazil? Is it in China? Is it in the United States? So depending on the jurisdiction, you have a different approach regarding how that data will be treated. So this is point number one. Point number two is that we become, therefore, sensors. So when you meet a new person and you shake hands, will we have to sign like a privacy notice to talk to that person? Like the person will say, so this is my terms of use, so you have to click this button before we start talking, because everything that we'll be talking will be recorded and so on. This is my privacy notice. And say, no, I don't agree. So, okay, bye-bye, I cannot talk to you. So that's the type of things that we have to think about. Because when the human brain and the human body becomes full of sensors, data is being collected, and there's legislation that actually requires the consent of other people in order to collect data about them. So this is sounds like a crazy example, but actually by law that is already required.
No, I think maybe in a couple of decades when people look back, the thing they will remember from the COVID crisis is this is the moment when everything went digital. And this was the moment when everything became monitored, that we agreed to be surveyed all the time.
Did you all remember agreeing to that? Did you remember when you took those vaccines, did you recall agreeing to being surveilled all the time? Did you know that at that moment that technology went on the inside of your bodies? Did you all know that? No, these people are evil. They're telling you that now. They're telling you that now. And again, back in 2019, God showed me. He didn't tell me exactly why that they shouldn't take the vaccines, but God just had me telling everybody, don't take those vaccines. This is how technology got on the inside and under the skin. You hear what he's saying? At what other time did it happen? It breaks my heart that y'all are so hard-headed. And with all this talking, with all this evidence, some of y'all still gonna take them vaccines. Number one, because you're not gonna be able to function in society without it. And some of y'all ain't used to going without a meal. Some of y'all eat 5-6 times a day. You're not going to be able to do nothing. You're not going to be able to have a job. Your children are going to suffer. A lot of y'all going to take it. And when you take it, you're going to be marked.
Not just in authoritarian regimes, but even in democracies. And maybe most importantly at all, this was the moment when surveillance started going under the skin. Because really we haven't seen anything yet. I think that the big process that's happening right now in the world is hacking human beings, the ability to hack humans, to understand deeply what's happening within you, what makes you go. And for that, the most important data is not what you read and who you meet and what you buy, it's what's happening inside your body.
Pray that y'all listening.